Good evening, Doug Poy from Monroe Township. Regarding the sources of revenue page,
Yes.
I noticed under the fund balance, there's a decrease of about $1.25 million. I would appreciate it if someone could elaborate on why there is that reduction compared to the previous year. That's one of the questions. Under the local tax levy, my question is, what will be the impact on property taxes for the individual homeowner? Because that has not been stated this evening that I heard. So I'd like to know what that is.
Okay.
And under revenues from state sources, there's an item called extraordinary aid.
Yes.
I noticed that it remains constant over this year and the coming year. I'd just like to know what extraordinary aid is all about. Okay, and I think that would be beneficial to the public. Under budget appropriations, special education, I noticed that we seem to be adding either complete teachers or partial teachers. Has there been a large increase in our special ed population that has caused this? Or what has brought about this need? I'd like to know that. And let's see, well, that's been explained. Okay, it's on the second page of the appropriations part of the budget. There's something called student-related services, and then there's another category called student services. I would appreciate if we could have an explanation as to what the difference are in those two categories. And I noticed on the third page of the appropriations, the salaries for the central services is increasing by 5.6%. And the salaries for administrative information technology is increasing by 3.25%. And also on the fourth page, I noticed that the salaries for the principals and vice principals is increasing by 2.8%. Now that's current staff, that's not new staff. My question is, why are those increases higher than the amount that basically seems to appear for salaries for all the other staff in the district, which is posted or which is listed here as being 2.5%? So those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Allen, do
So-
you want to answer some of those questions?
Sure. Yeah, so the fund balance that gets appropriated, that comes right from our audit. From June 30th, the audit would reveal what our excess surplus is and what amount has to get put into the budget, what we have to put into the budget as a revenue source. We don't have to use it, but we have to put it in there, and that is just that calculation. The extraordinary aid amount it's something that we apply for every year. We have to fill out an application. It's very detailed. We look at all the special ed students, the costs for out of district or whatever the costs are. If they hit certain amounts, if they hit certain thresholds, we can put them on these applications, and we file with the state, and we don't really find out until July of the following year how much we get for these extraordinary aid. So we don't budget. We can't really know. So we budget. We try to keep it. We try to be conservative and keep it kind of at that level. We've always gotten more, but there always is. You don't know. The state can always lower it. So we are conservative with that amount. That is the extraordinary aid. Then I'll have to find that tax rate. Okay, you had special ed teachers and paras. Yeah, that's strictly based on what we need, what the student, if we have an increase, and we do in special ed students, if we have, you know, say in the autistic class, there are more students coming in, that's based on what we have to by law put in the classroom. If we need an extra teacher or an extra para, then we have to do that. So it's not just because we want to, that we have to by law. So that's why you see that in several categories. That's really the main source of new salaries that we are putting into this budget is the special ed salaries. Okay. The salaries that are in the budget are, most of them, the majority of them are according to contract. We have different groups with different contracts.